When you want to say something, your brain sends a signal to your lungs, mouth, tongue. In a moment, you pronounce the word. Light reflects off objects. Your eyes translate it into electrical impulses, and your brain understands what you're looking at. Talking, moving, seeing, breathing, it's all a split-second transfer of signals going on in your body. Now, imagine you have not 2, but 16 billion eyes, hands, and feet. No, your own physical body hasn't changed at all, but your brain is taking in information from 8 billion other people on the planet as well. Because it's not your brain and mind. All these bodies are controlled by one common brain. It's not as sci-fi as it sounds. Collective intelligence already exists in nature. Beehives and ant colonies have a unique ability to work as one single organism. A colony of insects resembles a working brain, where each individual inside is like a neuron. So, what if evolution created humans, not as independent beings with our own personal thoughts, known only to us except when we decide to share them? Let's say we're all one big colony with a single shared brain. But for fun, we'll say you're not part of this unified brain. You're a space traveler, and you've just arrived on Earth. The dominant life form is the human being. The first thing that strikes you is communication. You're talking to a young guy on the street. "We live here," he says, and abruptly walks away. In peace and calm, a woman riding a bike zooms past you. "All the people here," a construction worker shouts from the roof of a nearby building. "Work for the common good," an elderly lady says, sitting on a bench. You communicate simultaneously with all people, as if with one person. If someone starts a conversation with you here in the city, then any person on the other side of the planet can continue the dialogue. 8 billion people on Earth know what you're talking about right now and know what you look like. As a single organism, the entire world population is aware of everything happening at any moment in time. There's no need for phones or texting. You don't need to call and check up on your friend or relative. You know how they're doing, and they know how you're doing. One person can't do something in secret from others. It's as if your pinky toe decided to live an independent life. You'd immediately know about it. You can't plan to take something without asking or do someone wrong. That person shares your thoughts. You can also forget about surprising someone with a gift. They already know. They were in your head when you bought it. In ordinary life, every person has their own inner world, secrets, mysteries. Not anymore. Here, everyone knows everything about each other because we are each other. People see the same dreams. No one's hiding anything. Lies no longer exist. For such a huge organism in the form of billions of people, there's only one goal: prosperity for the unit. People here don't build monuments to themselves. They don't create and compete for hundreds of different brands of cars, phones, accessories, or clothes. Everyone lives like bees in a honeycomb. Many of the houses and buildings are completely identical for the sake of efficiency. But some are real works of art. Beautiful architecture and highly developed cities are decorations for the global mind. Every resident knows exactly what their duties are. That person uses a car to deliver cargo. Another is walking to an office every day. Others use planes and ships to get their job done. There are millions of different tasks, and none of them is pointless. If the brain wants a castle, the individuals build it. If the brain needs a spaceship, they create it. Many inhabitants work in a power plant or food factory, so everyone gets all the necessities for a normal, comfortable life. There's no need for newspapers or official announcements. If scientists make a discovery, each person on the planet will know about it instantly. A lot of jobs involve keeping an eye on the planet and atmosphere so it doesn't get too dirty. It's all for the good of the common being. If even just one of the individuals isn't okay, anyone nearby will do everything possible to help them. Think of it like one of your fingers being weak or hurt. The whole hand can't grasp as strongly. Again, the unit needs strong, healthy individuals. But it's not all work and business. Any brain likes to relax, so people here organize parties on a planetary scale. There's also entertainment, just not the kind you're used to. No one makes movies or TV shows. There are no actors or glamorous stars. And what's the point of scriptwriters or a film crew if the rest of the planet knows what it'll be about and how it'll end before the movie even comes out? No, the main entertainment here is science. So many resources are thrown into exploring the planet and space. The entire world holds its breath as a submarine descends into some unexplored part of the ocean. What's that? A new species never seen before in the Mariana Trench. As soon as the scientist sees the underwater cam footage, the whole planet rejoices at the discovery. Still, there are countless jobs connected to space exploration. The brain strives to find someone similar, another thinking being, an unknown one. Improvement and preservation of cities and nature, it's all top priority, so people can work and study comfortably. If you're working on a book or scientific article, it's much easier to do it in a clean place with access to food and water. When you, the visitor, arrived on this earth, you were given the most generous welcome. You're the second mind in this world, and you're very interesting to billions of people. But our collective mind comes with familiar baggage. The brain of an ordinary person isn't perfect. You know that feeling when you doubt yourself or you can't make the right decision. Part of you wants to quit a job you don't like, and the other part persuades you not to. You constantly go back and forth with your mind, lost in your own thoughts. It can distract you from work, keep you up at night. Here, these doubts are projected onto billions of people, and conflicts arise among them. Maybe the rooftop worker would rather be controlling that sub, exploring the ocean depths. Yes, everyone is needed. What they do is just as important. But we all have preferences, right? The collective mind can get upset, feel exhausted, or be desperate. We're still human after all. When this happens, the population slows down. The brain is sluggish, production lags. It's as if the whole world is in a fog. But sooner or later, this feeling passes, and the collective brain is in a good mood again. The busy bees return to their usual routine. Progress continues. Every year, the organism expands. More and more people are born. In the future, space and resources may no longer be enough. That's why setting up camp on a different planet is a growing priority. The first ships have already been built. They'll send hundreds of thousands of people to the Red Planet. As soon as this happens, the brain's horizons will expand. People still on Earth will know everything happening on Mars. You've been living on this Earth for many years, documenting what you see, this strange but highly efficient human being. But you've also noticed mysterious creatures living here. They only appear at night, live deep underground, and look just like the rest of the humans. But the oddest thing is that the 8 billion people and their collective intelligence don't notice these inhabitants. Soon you realize that these creatures are the subconscious. They hide somewhere deep, but at the same time, they control all those who live on the surface. As in the ordinary human brain, the subconscious mind is a mystery here. It affects the emotions and psyche of every person. It may even be the source of the collective dreams everyone has. The deepest fears of this species, their unified worries, the being, might not be able to explain why it feels so foggy and anxious sometimes. The subconscious below is pulling the strings. Or even behavior. Every memory the brain makes, all the information it takes in, it goes to those below. They use this information to protect the species. Ever had a gut feeling that you're making the wrong decision? Probably because you've met a similar situation and didn't learn from it. You don't remember, but your subconscious does, and it's trying to steer you in the right direction. All of it, above and below, preserves the species. Looks like the human being will be just fine.
All right, it's time for a personality test. Keep track of your points and check your results at the end of the test. 1. Do you like playing tricks on people? A. Yes, but only my close friends. They know I don't mean it. B. Everyone, all the time. C. Never. I'm afraid to hurt their feelings. D. Only if they play tricks on me. If you picked option A, you just earned 20 points. If you went with B, add 40 points to your basket. Those who chose C earned 10 points, and D is worth 30 points. 2. Which of these animals do you associate yourself with? A. Panther. I'm also posh, fast, and can always protect myself. B. Cute puppy. I wouldn't survive a day without my family. C. Kangaroo. I'm one of a kind, and you can't approach me easily. D. Chameleon. I can fit into any surroundings. All panthers out there get 20 points. Puppies at heart can add 10 points to their score. Kangaroos scored 30, and chameleons get 40 points. 3. If you turned into a superhero, what would you do first? A. Save the world. B. Travel the world. Being a superhero involves flying, right? C. Meet my favorite celebrity. D. Use my superpowers to produce as much money as I've always wanted. Option A brings you 30 points, B is worth 20, C is worth 10 points, and D gives you 40 points. 4. It's your birthday, and your friends surprise you with your dream car. How long will you be happy about it? A week perhaps, until the joy fades away. B. Forever, it's the gift of a lifetime. C. It's no big deal, it takes way more than that to make me happy. D. I won't accept it, it's too much, and they know it. If you picked A, add 20 points to your score. If you went with B, it's worth 10 points. C brings you 40 points, and D, 30 points. 5. What's your favorite kind of weather? A. Beach weather, sunshine, no clouds, and heat. B. I love snow. Playing outside or staying at home on a snowy day makes me happy. C. Rainy weather. The sound of it helps me calm down. D. Extreme weather. Thunderstorms, tornadoes, sandstorms. They make life more exciting. If you prefer sunshine, add 20 points to your basket. Snow fans earn 10 points. Rain fans get 40 points. And those who love extreme weather earn 30 points. 6. What movie would you choose to star in? A. Drama. I know how to play it because, well, I live it. B. Comedy. My sense of humor and irony will help. C. A superhero movie. I even know what my superhero costume will look like. D. I want to star in a detective movie and solve mysteries. Option A brings you 20 points. B is worth 10 points. C brings you 30 points. And D is worth 40 points. 7. How do you feel before an important event? A. Nervous and scared. I don't want to let anyone down. B. Excited. I love to test myself and triumph. C. Calm and focused. That's what helps me always win. D. Useless. I always feel like others are putting more in it. If option A is your choice, you get 10 points. Would you rather go with B? Well, that's worth 30 points. C brings you 40 points, and D is worth 20 points. 8. What activity would you like to exclude from your routine for good? A. Washing, drying, and brushing my hair. It's a waste of time. B. Having to pick my outfits. Let a robot do it for me. C. Cooking. It's definitely not my thing. D. Cleaning. Things turn into a mess again too soon. If option A sounds like the way to go, give yourself 10 points. If B is your choice, you just scored 30 points. In case you went with C, add 40 points to your basket. And finally, D brings you 20 points. 9. Which sense do you rely on the most? A. Smell. I could create my own perfumes. B. Hearing. I can hear someone whisper across the street. C. Sight. They say I have eyes on my back. D. Taste. It has never let me down. If you went for sense of smell, you get 40 points. Those who trust their hearing get 10 points. If you have an eagle eye, award yourself with 20 points. And your sense of taste brings you 30 points. 10. You're arranging a first date with someone you really like. What's it gonna be? A. I'll rent a movie theater or a planetarium just for the two of us. B. I'll cook some fancy food and learn to play some musical instrument. C. I'll take them to an escape room and let them show how smart and brave they are. D. I don't arrange dates. Others try their best to impress me. Option A brings you 10 points. B gives you 30 points. Option C is worth 20 points. If you choose option D, here are your 40 points. 11. What do you do when you're angry? A. Ignore everything and everyone. I need some time to cool down. B. Read my favorite book or listen to some music. C. Cry my heart out. It helps me restart my system. D. Think it over. I gotta understand what made me so angry and how to avoid it. Option A adds 40 points to your basket. Option B gives you 30 points. C is worth 10 points, and D is worth 20 points. 12. Your friend's having a housewarming party. What do you bring to it? A. Some food or something else practical will do. B. I'll write a poem or make a fun collage and frame it to make it memorable. C. I'll just ask them what they need for the new house. D. Nothing. My presence is the best gift. In case you chose option A, give yourself 10 points. B adds 30 points to your score. C is worth 20, and D is a 40-point option. 13. What time do you usually go to bed? A. 10 p.m. Well, 11 p.m. at the latest. I keep it healthy. B. 2 a.m. or so. And then I wake up around 2 p.m. C. What sleep? I never get any. D. 8 p.m. I need my beauty sleep. Healthy sleepers get 40 points. Night owls get 30 points. Those who never sleep win 20 points. And those who go to bed early get 10 points. 14. Which of the following sounds like the absolute worst idea to you? A. Never leaving my hometown for the rest of my life. B. Doing all the work and watching others getting promoted. C. Have someone else pick my hairstyle for me. I just can't pick my hairstyle. D. Never knowing my schedule. I can't live without a good plan. Those who went with option A get 30 points. Option B is worth 40 points. C brings you 20 points, and D is worth 10 points. 15. Pick a color combination you'd never get tired of wearing. A. Black and white. I'm classy. B. Gray and pink. Official with a playful twist. C. Orange, purple, and emerald with a sparkle of blue. I dress brightly. D. Stripes, polka dots, paisley. It's not about colors, it's about patterns. In case you chose option A, add 40 points to your score. B brings you 10 points. C brings you 30 points, and D is worth 20 points. All right, it's time to sum up your points. If you ended up with 150 to 230 points, your hidden superpower is invisibility. You can always disappear from an event you don't like smoothly. If you don't want anyone to notice you at a lecture or business meeting, they never will. Did you get 240 to 330 points? Congrats! You have the superpower of flying. You're doing things way faster than other people. Sometimes they ask you to share your secret of being here and there at the same time. You fly from place to place and are never late. You're always the first to try out a new trend or visit a new place. In case you scored 340 to 420 points, you're a super brain. You're one of the smartest people around. You can figure out the solution to any problem in a matter of seconds. When life gets too easy, your brain gets bored. You have an excellent sense of humor and irony. You like to plan things, and your plan always works out. Those who got 430 to 510 points, you have the superpower of reading minds. You have a lot of friends, and you make new ones easily. You always feel when something's wrong with them, and you know exactly how to help. You can also make others change their mind if it's in your interest. And if your final score is 520 points or more, you're a money magnet. You never run out of it. The second you realize that you could use some more cash, you find opportunities to make it float your way. You know how to save and how to spend money. I scored 410, by the way. The constellation Orion is the brightest one in the sky. Orion is also in the night sky during the winter months when it's dark for the most hours. This makes Orion the most recognizable constellation to almost everyone in the world. Most stars don't seem to move too much or change their positions in the sky. This is not because stars are static. It's because our sun is moving along with them at about 483,000 miles per hour. It's a grand parade orbiting together around the Milky Way. The three stars that form the asterism, or star picture, of the belt of Orion have appeared in the same position for many thousands of years. There's a theory that the ancient Egyptians used the belt stars of Orion as a template for the placement of the three pyramids of Giza. The brightest star in Orion's belt is the middle one, called Al-Nilam. That's where the 481-foot-high Great Pyramid of Khufu was placed. To Khufu's west side, and in precise alignment with it, stands the 471-foot-tall pyramid Khafre. That's exactly where the star Alnitak is directly aligned to the bright middle star of the belt. To Khufu's east side, where the dimmest star of Orion's belt, Mintaka, is slightly offline with the other two stars, is the smallest pyramid of the three. Menkaure is 213 feet high and slightly offline from the other two pyramids. This one example serves to illustrate the profound impact that the constellation Orion has had on human history. Orion's heroic-sized figure inspired the ancient Greeks to create a tapestry-like story. It involves 6 other constellations spread across the winter, spring, and summer sky. Let's see what this story tells us. Orion is pictured as a hunter. Back then, hunting was a big deal. Hunters supplied food. So there's a lot attached to this constellation. The whole food chain, in fact. In the sky, Orion is in combat with the constellation Taurus the bull. Except, Taurus is not really a bull, it's an auroch. Aurochs are extinct now, but they were once plentiful in Europe. Standing 6 feet tall at the shoulder with long pointed horns, aurochs were powerful and fearsome creatures. There's a cave in the country of Spain that is filled with gorgeous paintings of aurochs. These pictures date back to 15,000 years ago, exquisitely drawn with inks that have not faded over the course of 150 centuries. The bulges in the rock stand out in 3 dimensions as the shoulder muscles of the aurochs. The constellation of Taurus, the auroch, is also in the cave, with the famous star clusters, the Pleiades, on its back, and the Hyades on its snout. The internet has a thrilling virtual tour of this Cave of the Bulls, full of aurochs. Maybe it should be renamed into the Cave of the Aurochs instead. Recently, the full DNA signature of an auroch was recovered from a well-preserved auroch skeleton, and scientists hope to breed these animals back into existence. Good luck and best wishes to this attempt to revive an extinct species. Aldebaran is the bright red giant star that marks the eye of Taurus. Bulls, when angry, always get this blood-in-the-eye look. Does it make you wonder why the bullseye on a dartboard or archery target is always red? Creeping up behind Orion is Leo the lion. Lions don't just live in Africa in times long past. The Cave of the Bulls in Spain has a painting of Leo the lion. Yep, these prehistoric people were drawing the constellations of the zodiac. But that's another story for another time. Orion gets rid of both Taurus and Leo. And then the story gets interesting. Orion claims in his moment of triumph, "I can defeat any animal I want." Orion's boast becomes the center of this sky drama when Gaia, or Earth, decides to get involved. Orion's words resounded throughout the world. This may be at the time in prehistory when civilization was changing from a nomadic hunter-gatherer tribal society to an agrarian society. The latter developed villages and towns 12,000 years ago. The human population was increasing, and food supplies were diminishing. Something had to be done about Orion and all the hunters, or social development would be stymied. Now enter Gaia into the story, but not into the sky. There is no constellation of Gaia in the sky. Gaia is Earth. Born parentless directly from the elemental chaos, Gaia was the feminine personification of our planet, and the word itself means soil. Brightsiders may be interested in a modern scientific theory that also personifies Earth as a living organism. It's called the Gaia theory. It first appeared in the 1970s. The Gaia theory presents Earth as a biosphere, as if it were alive. The theory claims that all components of the planet work together as one totally interconnected dynamic system. This is called symbiosis, or synergy. Together, they produce the ideal conditions for life. Life adapts to regulate the atmosphere at 21% oxygen, the salinity of the oceans at a maximum of 24.7%, and planetary temperatures at 57 degrees Fahrenheit. To illustrate how life adapts to maintain control of the changes in planetary temperatures, the authors of the Gaia theory created the fictional planet Daisy World. Daisy World is completely covered by white and black daisies. When the sun becomes too hot, the black daisies start disappearing, while the white daisies increase in population. The whiteness of these flowers reflects sunlight, and the planet cools down. If the sun isn't hot enough, the white daisies reduce their population, and the number of the black daisies grows. The black flowers absorb sunlight, and the planet warms up. This is Gaia at work. It's basically the same principle that created oxygen and produced the ozone layer in the atmosphere. This layer helps to block the harmful ultraviolet light from the sun. Scientists have been slow to accept the Gaia theory because of the lack of convincing evidence. But these days, we have self-learning AI supercomputers. They can probably make it possible to integrate Earth's biological and geological systems. This way, we might get a clear picture of how the planet functions as a self-sustaining biosphere. Wouldn't that be something? Now we can go back to the story of Orion and see how Gaia took care of the problem Orion's boast created for the planet. Obviously, Gaia couldn't send animals fiercer than a lion or an auroch to subdue Orion. So Gaia went small. She chose a poisonous scorpion to do the job, and it did the job. In the summer, the constellation of the Scorpion crawls at almost the same latitude as Orion's foot. The scorpion may be a small animal in the same arachnid family as spiders and ticks, but in the sky, Scorpius is the 33rd largest constellation out of the 88 of them. There is a general rule that the larger a constellation is, the longer ago it was created by early star watchers. They had their pick of stars, first come, first served. And so, they made large constellations first and little constellations later. By the way, if you were the first in line at a buffet dinner, wouldn't you take big helpings and let the end of the line have the scraps? Think chocolate cake.
Oh, sure, I'll only take a little piece.
Nah, I don't think so. In this story of Orion, we have a collection of large conspicuous constellations like Leo, Taurus, Orion, and Scorpius, which confirms the great age of the story. 3 smaller constellations, Lepus the hare, Canis Major, and Canis Minor, Orion's 2 hunting dogs, complete the Orion star tapestry and add an interesting subplot. What we have then is a fable of 2 different worldviews or cosmologies, that of Gaia and that of Orion. One is feminine and the other is classically masculine. One is committed to dominating the natural world, that's the Orion archetype. The other is committed to the survival of the planet against all circumstances, that's Gaia. The 2 may seem opposed, but perhaps they're meant to be complementary. Look, Orion and the Scorpion are on the opposite sides of the sky, one in the winter, the other in the summer. They act like 2 poles, north and south, of the same magnet, our planet. This is what we see happening these days. Science and technology are becoming more and more sensitive to the natural environment. Myriads of satellites are monitoring the biosphere of Earth. Gaia and Orion are starting to work together toward what the ancient Greeks called kalokagathia, or harmony. That's what we call synergy and symbiosis these days. Let's keep that synergy going strong.